So I'm going to come to the program, but before that, let me start with a brief on AIWMI. So AIWMI is now a 8-year-old education and membership body for financial services professionals. When we started it, the objective was to provide holistic 360-degree education and professional development to financial services community, and that's why our focus has always been on things more than certifications and trainings. You will see us as one of the only, possibly only one, one of the only associations or organizations in this country which focuses so much on community development and uh, uh, continuing education or advocacy work for the community. So our focus for our students is not only about giving them good trainings and putting them through some good assessments, but also on doing a lot of work around it, beyond it, around the year, which helps the students in growing themselves as professionals through, so our focus is always on providing many different formats and platforms to our students to grow themselves through PR or thought leadership activities, through participation in various national activities, and so on. So our definition of education for finance community is more holistic, because we believe this is probably one of the very few sectors which requires continuing education more than any other sector. And there's also an acute need for cross learning and co-learning with other peers. So uh, AIWMI has been successfully able to create a nice ecosystem in the last 8 years, wherein as a student, you can benefit from a number of national, regional, and international activities that we conduct throughout the year. So what do we do? When you're joining in as a student, it is not only for the course. You join us as a part of the AIWMI community, and then you can benefit from multiple things. Like, for example, we conduct a host of national and international conferences around the year, right from topics like wealth management, family offices, alternative investments, credit, women in finance, uh, investment banking. And so uh, we also partner or support a number of national and international conferences from other institutions. And that's close to, now we work with close to 40 plus international and national institutions in supporting their community events or their industry events. We have a very thriving research and advocacy wing. We participate in a lot of government policy decisions through our advocacy reports. We have now come up with a quarterly magazine. We have come up with a couple of national surveys. So the work on research and advocacy is only growing, and this is always open for our students and certificates to participate in. Uh, by editorial, we talk about our magazine and blogs, and we have a quarterly magazine now with a physical circulation of around 3,000 and digital circulation of almost 2 lakhs plus. And our students and certificates are always welcome to contribute content for such magazines. This is something we very actively promote, because, as I said, we believe finance professionals can only grow, not only grow through education programs, but also through participating in activities like this, which make him a differentiated face in the sector. So participating in editorial initiatives is a very interesting way for candidates to create thought leadership for themselves. By national initiatives, we mean we conduct a number of financial literacy initiatives throughout the year. There are competitions that we conduct. So, to give you an example, under financial literacy initiatives, we have a major initiative called Financial Education Week, where we celebrate the entire week on financial literacy initiative or conducting financial literacy sessions. And it's a completely pro bono activity wherein all our candidates and certificates join in to conduct at least one session for their networks. This year, we conducted the Financial Education Week in June, where we had close to 80 sessions which were conducted during the week. Uh, all online this year thanks to COVID, but we could, cover more than 5,000 people and and teach them on basics of financial planning. In We also conduct competitions, so uh, something like a credit research challenge. There's a contest that we do annually for students. Now we have set up a financial services employability test again for students and young professionals. So similarly, we have some already established initiatives, and we keep coming up with more. And our participants and students, our own students and members, they're always invited to participate in such initiatives in different ways or in different through different committees. Under awards, we have a national India Wealth Awards that we conduct every year. We've been conducting for the last 2 years. This is going to be the third year. Uh, and we have two mini campaigns. One is called 40 Under 40 Alternative Investment Professionals in India, and the other one is called India's Top Women in Finance. So through these awards and recognition initiatives, we have been able to identify and acknowledge some of the best and the brightest talent in the Indian financial services sector. And we will be coming up with a few more recognition initiatives on such lines. Masterclasses, we have been conducting a lot of offline masterclasses earlier. Now, of course, everything is happening online, but our students are, not only restricted to the tutorials of the particular course they're enrolled in. They get invites to a lot of other value-added sessions online and offline, which they can benefit from. Networking sessions, we have been conducting offline networking sessions on through some dine out sessions, or through golf sessions, or through other outdoor activities, where the idea was to just get the community together to network and interact with each other in a slightly more lighter environment. And such networking sessions go a long way in helping candidates develop a very good network, professional network for themselves. Study tours, we've been organizing. We started organizing, in fact, in 2018, when the first study tour was organized in participation with the US Embassy. And we did the study tour to for we did the study tour to sorry, hello. Yeah, we did the study tour to US and to the Select USA Investment Summit, and that was one of the largest Indian delegations which went there. Select US Investment Summit is US's largest investment summit, and there were investors from all across the world. It was a superb learning experience for all our candidates, especially from the wealth and family business background. Uh, we conduct a lot of mentoring sessions from CXOs of financial services. And last but not the least, now we are a 7,000 plus member community. So there is a lot of networking and cross-learning opportunities for the members itself. You can look out for our exclusive membership portal, that is www.xqualified.com. The students, after they've completed the course, have the opportunity to join the membership portal. It's optional, but it is a terrific way to stay connected and keep benefiting from the continuing learning activities around the year. So that's about AIWMI. Now I quickly move on to Shashwati, Ms. Shashwati Chaudhary, who's the lead faculty for the banking program. Shashwati, can I
Yes.
can I please request you to take over from here and take us through the next few slides?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Aditya. It's my pleasure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shashwati Chaudhary, and I am an ex-banker. Right now, I'm into training for banking students and banking employees. So banking is a field that I have been in for the last maybe 25 years now. And it'll be my pleasure to take you through to the course content of this course. But before I actually go into the course content, I would like to tell you that you are actually at the right place at the right time, because banking is one industry which is just growing at a phenomenal speed. And when we are looking at an economy which is, we are aiming for a 5 trillion economy, 5 $5 trillion economy by 2024-25. I mean, there's no way that banking will not play a major part in that. Because today, whenever we are talking of growth of the economy, we need loans. And for loans, banks are where it is. Also, it is today, if you see, banking is not only about those traditional bankings that we have talked about, deposits products and loan products. And that is what we have tried to cover in this course. So here in this course, we'll be giving an overview of what banking is. In fact, right now what we see is banking is like a one-stop shop. It's like a mall. You know, when you go to a mall, you get all products. So whether you want to buy shoes, whether you want to buy clothes, whether you want to buy food, grocery, whatever, electronic gadgets, whatever it is, you get it in the mall. Banking is exactly like that. So whether you want to place deposits, whether you want to take loans, whether you want to invest in mutual funds, insurance, alternative investment products, whether you want to open a locker, whether you want to have a payment wallet, so whether you want to buy gold, you name it. Suppose you want to invest in shares. So earlier what used to happen was, like maybe 10 years back, we had to go to different organizations or institutions or individuals. If you wanted to, every family you would see would have an LIC agent. Yeah. And if you ask our parents, our grandparents, every family would have an agent. But now what is happening is that today, here, if you go to the bank, you get all products. And therefore, the banks now require people who are specialized, who are knowledgeable, who have the expertise, and not only actually talking about only deposits and loans, but we're also talking of all the different types of investment products. Yeah. Now you may wonder that in this COVID situation, what are the prospects? And if you see, banks are, this is one sector, because I'm teaching in a university where there are students who are doing MBA in BFSI. I'm also teaching, I do take courses for existing banking employees. The, I would say the strain here is that banking is here to stay. Jobs are here to stay. The type of jobs are changing. And earlier when I was in the bank, we used to get a 2 weeks or 3 weeks training program. Here what is happening is the banks now expect, because the banks now expect that you start on the first day. You'll come in with the expertise and you will start from the first day. Yes, they will give you training for their particular products, but they want you to have a general overview of the banking industry. And it always stands you in good stead when you are equipped or you have the expertise. And here is where this course, the CIBA course by AIWMI, comes in play. Okay, so now here the advantage also is in banking right now, that earlier while there were PSU banks and private sector banks which were there, now a new type of banks, which are small finance banks and payment banks, have come up. So since 2015, when RBI granted licenses, the large number of banks which were earlier micro-lending organizations, which have converted themselves into small finance banks.
Shashwati, just a sec.
Yeah.
Ramkesh, can I request you to please switch off your video? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, may I continue? Yeah, can I continue, Aditya?
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So now small finance banks is a huge opportunity. I don't know if you're aware of it, that there are more than 44 foreign banks. There are more than 22 private sector banks. There are payment banks. There are more than, licenses were given to about 10 payment banks, but about 6 of them are already running. There are some 11 small finance banks. And the best thing is, in December 2019, RBI has said that they will be giving on-tap licensing to small finance banks. When we're talking of on-tap licensing, that means anyone with a certain equity capital, I think it's about 200 crores, can now start up a small finance bank. So they have given an opportunity for the cooperative banks to convert themselves into small finance banks. So if we are looking at financial inclusion, we are looking at a pace of growth so that we can reach a $5 trillion economy. Banking is the backbone. Nothing can move without the banks. It is like the economy will collapse if the banking sector collapses. So that is how important the banking sector is. And it gives you an opportunity because these small finance banks, you may say that, okay, PSU banks, they are actually now merging. The number of banks are now merging and they're going to, in fact, yesterday, I think I was reading in the paper where the government is wanting to bring it down to 5 PSU banks. So yes, there may not be jobs in the PSU sector, and PSU you have to give the exams and all that. But there are a huge scope of jobs in the private sector, in these small finance banks, in these payment banks. Yeah, and if you have the right qualifications with your graduation and a course like this, you will naturally be preferred over someone who does not have this expertise. Yeah, so during the interview, if you are able to at least talk about this domain knowledge, and another thing which I would like to tell you about is, while domain knowledge is extremely important, in today's banking scenario, you also need to brush up your soft skills. Yeah? So build up on your communication skills. Like when you interact, like Aditi was talking of this interacting, building networks. This is I would say, a fantastic forum on which you can build your different skill sets also. The moment you are interacting with a large number of people across the country, the moment you are attending seminars, going out for these, attending all these seminars on the functions and everything that EIWMI keeps organizing, it is an extremely good opportunity for you to build up your skill sets. Because while domain is one part of it, it is extremely important that you build up those other skill sets, those behavioral skills also, to be successful in the bank. Yeah. So let me just run through what we will be talking about over the next. This course is designed for 20 sessions. Each session will be for 1 hour. Okay. While we have defined the topics that are to be covered at any point of time, if there are any topic that you would like us to focus a little bit, I think Aditya, we would have the flexibility to maybe focus on that topic a little more. Yeah. So this is a broad outline what will be covered. The first session will be on introduction, and we will move on to the CASA, that is the deposit products, credit lending, forex products, insurance products. Yeah. So here this is why I was telling you, see, today, if I want to take foreign exchange, I don't need to go to a foreign exchange dealer. Today, if I want to say remit funds overseas, today we are in a global economy. Most companies are opening offices abroad. We are taking over companies. You will find in every maybe 10 or 20 families there's someone who's residing abroad. And there's a lot of money which is being transacted across the globe. So we need to know about forex products also. And of course, wealth products. When we're talking of wealth products, we will be talking about mutual funds. We will be talking about a little bit about the capital market. We will talk about alternative investment products. Yeah. So this will all give you an overview of the different products. Insurance, we will talk about all the types of insurance products, like your term insurance, your endowment insurance, ULIP products, etc. Payment wallets and gateways, very, very important. We will be touching upon that also. So, because I'm sure we all are using these payment wallets right now. It is, in fact, with this lockdown, this has become the most easy to use and to make do transactions. Paytm, I think we all have UPI, we all have something or the other. Then, of course, I will tell you how the branch operates. So, because today there is 90% of the chances that you'll be posted in a branch operation. And whatever, depending upon whatever type of job you do, you may be in sales, you may be in operations. Even if you're in sales, it's good to have an overview of how a branch operates. So I'll tell you about the structure of the branch and what are the different operations of the branch. Yeah. Then this is when we're talking BCSPI, that is the Banking Code and Standard Boards of India. They have designated rules and regulations which every bank needs to follow. I'll give you an overview of that. Not only will I talk you about branch operations, I will also tell you about HR. I will tell you about compliance, money laundering. We are reading a lot of papers. In the papers, we keep reading about how Nirav Modi scam, and the Kingfisher scam. So these scams which keep happening are because these banks have not actually adhered to the compliance rules, and money has been laundered very recently. Yes Bank, yes. So today in the banking industry, I would not say only in the banking industry, but any financial institutions, it is extremely important that you know about compliance and money laundering. We'll also give you a brief overview of treasury, that is how the capital is managed, how the uh, financial risk, that is the capital risk which is there, how is it managed here. Then a little bit about also different types of risk management. So today, when any organization, any institution is operating, there are always risks involved. Yeah. So you have, there's a market risk which is there. There is a credit risk which is there. There's an operational risk which is there. And I will take you through all this. These will be brief overview of this. These are, let me tell you something, that in the bank, these are very specialized functions. Okay? Risk management, treasury management are very, very specialized functions. Generally, these are handled by the head office. So the corporate office, wherever the head office is, there's head office, and there would be at the region, depending upon the size of the bank, there would be some representatives of the risk management department at the regional level. It is never handled at the branch level per se. But however, the branch manager, the operations manager in the branch, they have responsibility in ensuring, especially for operational risk. Yeah, operational risk is all your processes, whether you are actually adhering to the right processes. Yeah, credit risk is whether you're adhering when you're giving out loans. Okay, then a very, very important segmentation is right now client segmentation. So I will tell you about the different types of customer profiles that are there. And since we'll be talking about wealth management products and insurance products before that, I will tell you that what are the products which are, which we offer to these different types of customers. So retail customer would be an Aam Janta, whereas private banking customer could be anyone with above, say, 25 lakhs or even 30 lakhs, depending upon the size. Each bank defines it. The definition of private banking for some bank could be 50 lakhs, for some bank could be 25 lakhs. Like family offices, we are talking of ultra high net worth individuals, maybe anyone above 5 crores or even 10 crores. Again, defined by each bank in a different way. So I'll be talking about that, briefing you on the opening. And of course, when I'm talking about these clients, I will also tell you about how to manage these relationships. How do you go about actually getting them on board? What is the type of communication which you need to reach out with them? KYC, that is know your customer. I think one of the most, in fact, I will not only be touching upon KYC here, when we are when we're doing CASA deposits, KYC is something I will in fact touch upon throughout this process, because today, whatever relationship you start with the bank, whether you want to open an account, whether you want to take a loan, whether you want to take a credit card, an UPI a wallet, open a wallet, start a wallet, or have any type of investment, whether it's mutual fund, shares, open a demat account, open a trading account, insurance, you cannot do without KYC. And KYC is one of the most important things. Yeah. We will move on. Then I'll give you a brief overview of the complaint redressal system, which is there in banks, the crisis management, a little bit about credit rating agencies and how the banks deal with them. The next slide, please. Aditya, the next slide, please. Yeah. We will again then give you, now here when we're talking of financial planning, insurance planning, these are extremely important things. You have detailed courses by AIWMI also, but here you will get an overview about financial planning, insurance planning, investment planning, because today what is happening is people, there are a lot of people with a lot of money. And even if they do not have money, if they are, say, small salary account holders, if they do not plan for their future, because one is inflation actually eats into the returns, and And another thing, the lifespan of people have increased. Yeah, earlier maybe it was 70 was the lifespan. Today people are living a healthy life till about 80, 85 is people are living a healthy life. So if you're retiring at 60 and you have a life, which is your working life is about 30 years, 30, 35 years, you have another 25, 30 years where you need to ensure that the money you have accumulated or you have earned is actually there to meet all your needs. So very important is financial planning. And therefore, naturally, when we're talking financial planning, tax planning, very important. Value-added services, we'll also talk about etiquettes and ethics in financial planning, succession planning, especially in India. We always like to leave some money for our next generation. And then we will we will discuss some case studies of the different types of banks. And there are very successful banks. There are banks which have failed. So we will generally give you an overview and we will discuss some case studies. Yeah. So this is an overview of the course. And this should give you a very good idea of what banking is all about in the present days. Yeah. So as I told you, banking has changed. And this is what you will come to know in bank. Yeah. That's from my side. Thank you. I'll be happy to take any questions. Aditya, over to you.
Thanks, Shashwati. So, guys, here's the registration process. Now, let me quickly take you through the through how this entire thing works. So, AIWMI has launched a Skill Up Scholarship campaign. After the lockdown started, an idea was to help youngsters and professionals and even senior professionals to use this time to upskill themselves. So under Skill Up Scholarship, registration fee on all our programs has been waived off, and the students only need to pay the exam fee. They don't have any other cost. So that exam fee includes the tutorials, the online content, the mock tests, uh, and of course access to all other webinars and sessions as I mentioned earlier. So for certificate in banking, we are starting the batch on Monday, 3rd of August, and the batch is going to run through 20 sessions as Shashwati took us through. And idea is to create a very interesting instructor-led skill-based program, which will give students a very good insight into the world of banking. And with this certificate, they should be definitely well placed to take up jobs with some of the private banks and public sector banks. So under Skill Up Scholarship, we are starting this new batch, and if you are joining in, if you wish to join in, then this is the corporate code CIBA that you need to remember. You need to use this to get the waiver on the registration fee. And we're starting the batch from Monday, 3rd of August. So we'll request all of you, if you're interested in signing up, then do talk to us, our team before that, get your queries solved, and do join in the batch from day one so that you don't miss out on any of the learnings. However, if you do miss out on a few sessions, please note the recordings of the sessions will always be available in your student login so that you can access anytime in the future. Exams for the certification, just like all other certifications of AIWMI, will be conducted on the last Sunday of every month and on our own platform. And you can appear for the exam even from your home. All you need is a good internet connection and a functional camera on your PC or laptop for supervision, and that's about it. So you can not only get trained but also can get certified during the lockdown itself. So that's about from our side. If you have any questions, happy to take those. So let me ask you a couple of questions, Shashwati, as a faculty and as a senior banker yourself, so
Yeah.
you can answer
Yes.
better. So do you think a program like this will help a candidate get a job with banks?
Definitely, Aditya. As I said right at the beginning, the banks today are looking at people, employees who can start off from the first day of joining. Unlike earlier times when they used to give training for 2-3 weeks, they expect people to be certified, have the expertise, and start off working from the first day on the job. So definitely a course like this would be very helpful to gain expertise about banking.
Sure. And I mean, I mean, although we are going to go fast and, a day, a session a day, I mean, 5 sessions a week kind of a schedule.
Yeah.
But will we be also giving them some practical lessons or exercises during the course, for help them get a better understanding and hands-on training?
Yeah, the purpose, see, whenever I conduct the course, I try and ensure that it is a very interactive session where during the course, they will be able to ask as many questions as they would like. We can have some exercises if they would want it, but I would prefer a more interactive sessions where during the course of the session itself, the students are able to talk and, I usually bring in my experience of banking and whatever is happening all around, so we can share that and gain experience.
So, looking forward, Shashwati, I mean, after this thanks to this pandemic, which kind of just came up out of
Yeah.
nowhere,
Yeah.
going forward, do you think the jobs in the banks are going to go down or is going to go up? I mean, how is the job scenario when it comes to banking going to change, in your opinion?
Okay. It's actually the type of job, as I said, that banking is the backbone of the economy. So there's no way that the number of jobs will come down. It's just that the type of jobs is changing right now. So earlier, when the jobs in the banks were more operational based jobs, now because of digitalization, most of the
Okay.
operational jobs have been digitalized. But there are a lot of specific jobs where you like I told you, financial planning. There's a huge demand for financial planners. There are huge demand for people who are when in private banking, in premier banking. So investment banking, financial planning is where there are a lot of job process, because today our mutual fund penetration, our insurance penetration is far below the developed countries. So there is always a huge scope for banking. It will always be there. It is always there. It's just the type of jobs have changed, will be changing. And we're looking at financial inclusion. There are a few crores who are still do not have bank accounts. So maybe the jobs in the proper cities, the big metros may
Yeah.
not be, but there would a lot of jobs are coming up in the small towns, in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. Because if you see the small finance banks, which were localized banks, they're now expanding pan India. I was reading an article the other day, Capital First, which is a northern India based bank. It was a
Yeah.
local area bank. They're now expanding to Western India and to more of Western India. So they will need people to take care of those bank branches.
Super. So, a question which I'd like to answer on my own is, a lot of students ask us about the placement support. So, we have a placement team which keeps updating the jobs and internship opportunities for our students on the job board on our website. We also keep updating them on our Facebook page. So students can definitely benefit from that. We also conduct from time to time. We conduct sessions on interview preparation and other personality development aspects to help you better prepare for your interviews. We do not schedule interviews for you. We upload all these jobs, and we try to bring these opportunities to you. But what you make out of it is strictly up to the student. Not definitely not something of a it's not like a responsibility of AIWMI. So that's something I always try to make clear to our students that this is not a job guarantee program. This is a skill building program. So we are here to help you get the best possible skills from the best possible experts, and here to provide that platform that will make it easier for you to get those jobs. But get finding and getting that job, that last mile responsibility is with you. uh, Other than that, the last thing I would like to say is, it's in a profession of like ours, the financial services. It's not only about doing certifications and just getting some additional tags. It is also about how much more you're putting in through additional work that you're doing, in terms of creating, either adding certifications to yourself, or creating new networks for yourself, or giving yourself new exposure to new areas, topics, or events for people. So that's what makes a financial services professional a successful one. And we at AIWMI are completely committed to provide that opportunity, that platform for you to experience this. So on that note, I think Shashwati, let's. I think we should end this
Yeah,
session
sure.
now. There are no more
Yes.
questions I see.
Yeah,
So
sure.
thank you for joining in, and thank you everyone for joining us. For the session. Have a good and safe weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.